Hello, my name is Matt and I am a player for the Manchester Baseball Club in the northwest of England, and this is my 2022 training blog. You may also know me for a little podcast I do called the British Baseball Podcast. So you don't have to go through the pain of listening to the season 1 of the training diary, which is me sat in a car going, I've hit a ball today, it went really well. Basically, I started playing in 2019, the first training session was in December. I found Manchester Baseball Club after trying to find somewhere to watch the MLB London series after not being able to afford a ticket. And it sort of snowballed into a crazy passion, finding a new sport that fit my needs. I had a life-changing head injury in 2014 that meant I couldn't play a lot of the sports I love doing. Baseball just fits that hole perfectly. Then 2020 came around, getting ready for the first season, and as we all know, things didn't go to plan with a certain global pandemic. And that led to me creating the podcast, interviewing lots of great people and finding lots of brilliant things about the sport. And through the podcast, I managed to meet some fantastic people, make some great friends, do some travelling, managed to go down to the BBF Open tournament in 2020 to watch some baseball. Met the now head coach of the GB national team, Drew Spencer, a lot of players, a lot of coaches. Had a great time, lots of fun. Been to the Battle for Britain, which was in 2020 down at the Essex Arrow site. Met the artists Annie Brown and Richard Chesterton and Steve Simmons and so many great people and great memories there. That was my 40th birthday, which seems like years ago. And also had some podcast appearances on the Hall of Very Good podcast. Shout out to Sean and Lou. If you haven't had a chance to check out the Hall of Very Good podcast, you should give it a go. It's a fantastic listen. Been really fortunate to get a lot of advice and tips of people. It's another reason why sport's fantastic in this country. So all the coaches, managers and players, it doesn't really matter who you're playing for or where you've come from in your journey within the game. People want you to grow and develop and be the best that you can be in this sport. Did the Smart Performance Training Academy in 2021 as the start of my off-season, which is Will Linton, Alan Dean and Liam Carroll, who names that you'll find familiar if you're used to British baseball. Also in 2021, I got involved in Project Cobb. This time it was as the Great Britain Baseball Coordinator. So all the scores and results and matches and profiles and all the great bits that come along with looking to Great Britain Baseball. I get to send that off to the website and get that updated. If you haven't checked out Project Cobb, you should give it a go. I know I retweet a lot of stuff, but it's worth a look. My goal and aim was to be the best teammate that I could be. I found myself fitting in quite well. I think it's one of them sports that's really welcoming. And then as the season progressed, my goals and targets changed. I wanted to make the group. I wanted to make the roster. I wanted to make the bench and slowly work my way up. And I found myself playing for the Manchester A's baseball team, which is the first team. And I'm just going to put this out there, it's not off talent. They were a player down and they needed somebody, and I sort of stepped in. But I was happy with my performance overall, and we got a win, and that was against the Sheffield Bruins. My goal was always to develop and improve as season went on. And that brings me up to the training that we just had on the 16th of January 2022. That's the date that had circled in the calendar. The words everybody in baseball loves hearing at the start of winter training. One of the things that was mentioned to me was that my technique and my throwing was a lot better. Even Coach Miranda said from the 2 years ago when I first met him, my throwing was up. Say it wasn't very good, and that's me trying to be polite. And to where it is now, that goes with the work and effort from a lot of people, which I will be very thankful for. We did mention that my footwork needed to be worked on. So my goal for next week is to work on footwork. But I want to know, what are your goals for the season and what are your short-term goals as well? See if you can give me some ideas and tips and inspirations. Yeah, I'd like to hear your input too. Let me know in the comments or drop me a message on the social medias. So last season I struck out once, but in my opinion I didn't get enough hits. So that's something I'm going to look at improving on in 2022. I also reached a milestone with the podcast in 100 episodes, which went down really well. Got a lot of collaboration from the British baseball community, which was brilliant to hear. Loved hearing all the stories. And I've also gone back to college to learn how to sound for visual media using Pro Tools to try and get better content for your good selves and try and learn myself into a new career. Sunday's training was lots of fun. It was great to be around a lot of old faces, and again, the thing that we all see in our baseball clubs, new faces and new people. I tried to talk to as many people as possible when I was down there to try and find out their stories, see how they found baseball, what they got into. So some really good and interesting tales there. So the off-season training on Sunday involved a lot of running to start with. I've been keeping myself fit in the off-season, tried to do more long distance running. I know it's not ideal for baseball, but we did a lot of sprints on Sunday. My legs are still feeling it a few days later, but got to get back into the rhythm of it, and some throwing. But yeah, it was a great day. Just hear the noises, the squeak of the trainers on the wood, and the ball hitting the glove. Those things that we love in baseball. It feels like too long since the season ended to starting up again. So if you started your off-season training, what have you enjoyed so far from it? What have you been doing? And if you're not in your off-season training yet, what are you most looking forward to? Let me know, and I'll chat to you all soon. Cheers for listening, and I'll see you in a bit. Ta-ra.